So teams will sign players, or I should say kids, like into their youth academy very young, like 10, 8 years old.
What? Man, come on, bro. This damn near trafficking. Pigtail Zaire in the flesh. Hey, before we get to more player reactions, I know I'm still do De Bruyne tomorrow, and I know his name because I actually did that video and it got copyrighted. I'm gonna do it again though. I'm gonna do a different video though. I'm gonna do him and I'm gonna do Eden Hazard on Halloween. So lock in, for real, for real. But today, we gotta watch this shit before we get any more player reactions, bro. I need to know how football work, bro. I'm just watching these bitches and they look crazy to me. All these moves that they doing, it looks stupid. But like, dog, I gotta figure out what's really going on in these clips. You feel me? So we gonna get acquainted fully with this sport and see if I really fall in love with this shit. You feel me? Like if I really fall in love with it, like how I am with NBA, NFL, MMA, boxing. I gotta see if soccer can be in that rotation for me. Follow my IG at Thank You Zaire. Follow my Twitch at Thank You Zaire. Come on, you know what we on? Nah, do I look like a hoe? Be honest. You know, I whip my hair like it. All right, my bad. Is there sound? I hate watching soccer. They had to bring out the stretcher at least 6 times a game. That's cap. I ain't seen no damn stretcher.
So I've been wanting to start following soccer for a while now, but as an American, I always found it complicated. Not like how they play. Most 3-year-olds can kind of understand more or less how it works. I just mean how everything kind of
American
works in Europe.
is explaining European ball to us? How that make sense? Fuck it. I mean, maybe he did it right.
You know, I would follow the World Cup, and I'd root for the United States if they made it. And then I'd root for Iceland because clearly they've all been practicing that clapping and they're really good at it. But that only happens once every 4 years. So I turn on my
for
TV,
Iceland, nigga? What?
And it
Iceland?
would be a random game like Parma versus Bologna. And first I'd make sure that I wasn't watching the food.
I didn't even know that was a real place. What the fuck? Iceland? The hell?
I had no frame of reference for this game. Like, are these teams good? You know, is this a big game? Which one of these guys is Pele? You know, I didn't know.
Wow, okay, I'm gonna be honest, that's crazy. Even me, I've never even watched soccer before. I knew who Pele was from the jump. I mean, maybe because I'm black, you know, he black culture, I guess. But like, bro, I'm gonna be honest, that's crazy. Pele, come on, dog.
How are guys getting traded to different countries? And why does everybody in the stands have a scarf? So a few months ago, I tried to start figuring it out.
They be having scarves in the stands?
I started watching some matches. That's the first thing. They aren't soccer games. They are football matches. And I bought FIFA for my Xbox, and I bought a scarf and a vuvuzela.
Yeah, I'm already knowing the type of person you is, bro. You got an Xbox, bro. That shit weak as hell. This nigga rocking on the Xbox, dog. What was y'all first console though? Cause my first console actually was an Xbox. That's kind of ironic. That's real ironic. I'm a PlayStation guy though, but my first shit was definitely Xbox.
Translating soccer into American. I'm going to assume that you kind of know the rules. The biggest difference between American sports is how offsides works and the clock. Lots of people get
offsides is dumb shit as hell. I'm gonna be honest.
Get over yourself. It doesn't really matter. Americans also get mad because the clock doesn't stop and games pretty much end whenever the ref feels like it.
That is one thing that I seen on one of these when I was reacting to the El Clasico shit that got copyrighted. We couldn't post it. It's not on my channel. I noticed that the clock was still moving. I'm like, what the fuck? And they was over here talking and doing their little shit on the screen, trying to figure out if it was a foul or not, while the clock's still running. I'm like, nigga, come on, hurry this shit up. We still gotta score. I'm going for Barcelona, by the way. And we down, bro. And they just letting the clock go while they checking this shit. I'm hella mad. Like, what?
You actually adjusted this pretty quickly. The game's an hour and a half long. You'll have your chances to score. And if you can't score, then it's not the clock's fault. Some people, and when I say people, I'm referring both to discussions I've had with other Americans as well as like myself 6 years ago. So people think soccer is too slow. And when Americans look at a soccer field, something in our minds, we think that it's like playing hockey or playing basketball just on a big grass field. And in those sports, guys like go full tilt a lot, like most of the game. So when two players are just standing there passing the ball back and forth, we wonder, like, why aren't they trying to move forward?
That's true. But I think there's beauty in the patience of this game, in the pace of this game. I think there's beauty in that, bro. I'm gonna be honest. Watching these games lightweight, the way that they pass, the way that they move, and they know exactly where to go at all times, you know, it's kind of like poetry, bro. That you don't really be seeing in basketball no more, bro. Basketball is a lot, like I said before, it's a lot of 1v1 type games now. You feel me? I ain't gonna lie though, this season been crazy as shit, dog. But the way that this game is played, bro, I like the pace, bro. It's mad beautiful. I'm gonna be honest.
On the other side, we expect the defenders to be attacking the guy with the ball rather than just standing 5 feet back and letting him do what he's doing. The key difference is that football pitches are much larger than basketball courts and hockey rinks.
Yeah, football, a field is big as shit.
Soccer game, you would be exhausted and you would probably lose. See, the pace of a soccer
game... Don't doubt me, nigga. I'll do this shit on my last breath, nigga. Don't doubt me, bitch.
Actually much closer to baseball. Most of the game is going to consist of guys just slowly passing the ball around, real peaceful.
Why am I looking at the blue screen?
And then it's going to be all of a sudden followed by these short bursts of extremely fast action. Basketball players, it's estimated, run an average of 2.5 miles during a game. Soccer players can run 7, if not 10 miles during one game. And remember, you only have 3 subs games, so most of these players will be playing the whole game.
Damn! You only get 3 subs in soccer? Oh, I ain't know that. That's some bullshit. I'm gonna be real. That's some bullshit. I ain't gonna lie. You make one mistake in basketball, NBA, high school basketball, college basketball, your coach is pulling you out, bro. That nigga will do that shit 8 times a game, bro. I ain't even bullshit. But soccer though? Only 3, nigga? No wonder why that Toe Jizzle nigga was hella mad, bro. The nigga, I think his name is Vinny or something. He was hella mad when he got taken out that El Clasico game. He was stupid mad. He was heated, nigga. You seen red steam coming off that nigga head.
Is that other than halftime, there are no commercials. So it's like the anti-NFL, which is great. It also means that no matter where the ball is, both teams are always potentially about 30 seconds away from scoring, which creates this kind of constant tension. It also creates a scenario where you can't ever really run to the bathroom or get a drink. Soccer players seem to have a reputation for being lazy in the U.S. because they don't always pop right back up after going to ground and get right back into play. Certainly some players do embellish things. And
I didn't know that they had no commercials.
I don't really think that on the whole it's quite the issue that people make it out to be. So they get made fun of in Europe too. So here's a fun experiment to try the next time you have a few minutes.
Okay.
Go to like a local field.
No.
And then quickly jog laps around that field for like 10 minutes. And then suddenly sprint down the middle of the field as fast as you can. And when you're halfway up the field, while you're still sprinting, have one of your friends just shove you over onto the ground. And if you can pop right back up and keep sprinting, then you can keep complaining about those guys. A lot of the time, they're just...
No, I mean, shit, I mean...
Everyone will either just keep playing around them, or both teams will be a little tired, so who cares? It's not a Matthew Riley novel out there. The other reason for guys slowly passing the ball around is that one of the strategies currently employed by most teams is to maintain possession as much as possible. Obviously, this is no different.
I be trying to do that on FIFA. It don't be working.
American football, or why Russia is really good at hockey. The other team can't score when you have the ball.
Facts.
So teams will just pass the ball back and forth.
Facts.
And even pass it back to their own goalie, because it's better to go backwards with the ball than to maybe make a risky pass and let the other team have the ball. On occasion, you'll see a team make like 50 passes without the other team touching the ball, which can take a really long time. But then
that's some bullshit though. That's just a testament to how garbage the team that you playing. Like, there's no way they shouldn't be able to get this ball if you passing it 50 times back and forth. Like that. What's going on with the defense? That's bad defense.
Score, and that's like as good as it gets. It's all about waiting for the precise moment for things to align and then all going together at the right moment. In terms of like positioning and formations, you'll usually have 3 or 4.
This is one thing I really want to learn about is the positions and formations and shit.
4, 2, 3, 1. These numbers will always add up to 10, and then the goalie is just assumed. Different positions include the center backs, who just stay as defenders, and the full backs are both the left and the right back, who will defend, but then they'll also usually join the attack as well.
Okay.
And then we have midfielders, like a center midfielder, who can go both ways, a center attacking midfielder, or a center defending midfielder.
Okay.
And then up front, we have like a left wing and a right wing, sometimes a center forward, and a striker up front who it's his job to just score goals.
Okay, see, now I'm knowing. Okay, so now I know how to play FIFA, nigga. So I'm not really supposed to use these back niggas. These niggas always supposed to be on defense. These niggas can sometimes go, but I'm gonna probably keep them back just for strategy or something. These niggas right here, everybody in the middle, bro, haul ass and go get a bucket, especially you. Whoever, so I need to be knowing my goalie got to be amazing, high overall goalie, and I got to have a high overall striker. And I need some good defense. These niggas got to be great too. Whoever gives a fuck about these niggas, real shit. We don't really care about y'all. Y'all just fillers. You feel me? Y'all filler episodes. I'm about to get great at FIFA, I'm telling you.
So keeping the ball and attacking is referred to as positive football. You're always trying to move forward. This is what most teams do. This is what people like to watch a little more. It's kind of exciting. It's more exciting to watch.
Keep possession, score.
Of course, there's always a yin to the yang. So the yin is this guy named Jose Mourinho, and he basically says, I don't want the ball. I'm going to stand back with my players in front of my goal, and you're not going to score. And then every once in a while, when you're falling asleep and all your players are up in my zone, we're going to steal the ball and we're going to run down and score.
So who the coach? Who he coaching? So I know not to play whoever he coaching in FIFA.
Except that
because he played like a weirdo. I don't like that.
Well, Jose's considered one of the best managers there is, and he has the trophies to back it up.
Oh, he's a GM.
Plenty of big tournaments with teams. That I'm told if you tried to have that team keep the ball the whole time, like most coaches would, they would have been destroyed. They were too old, and they just would have got worn out and wiped out. But
I think I've seen him before, though.
This negative defensive strategy,
I'm pretty sure I have.
They were able to win. And despite this, teams that employ the strategy seem to get a bad rap for playing negative as opposed to positive football, because keeping the ball seems to be the in thing right now. So obviously there's more thought that goes into it than I've described here. Like Diego Simeone and Atletico Madrid has been using this negative strategy for years, and they've been successful with it. On the flip side, the guy...
So then why is it a negative strategy if it's successful? It's not negative, it's just a different type of strategy. Strategy is literally the word strategy. Like, it's your strategy. However you do it, it might be different from another nigga. And he might be mad that you playing like that, but guess what? That's your strategy, right? And it's winning. So that's why he mad. If he would have been winning with his strategy, he wouldn't be mad. But you would probably be mad because he winning with his strategy. It's just, it's strategy, nigga. So why is it negative?
Risen to the top playing possession football are also widely sought after. Two of the most well-known coaches right now are Jurgen Klopp and Pep Guardiola. And I highly recommend watching the series All or Nothing about Manchester City on Amazon Prime. It's about Guardiola's team a few years ago. And it's quite clear from interviews with these guys.
Y'all got Amazon Prime?
Quite thoughtful and well-traveled. I couldn't name a single baseball manager who can speak 3 languages.
Damn.
So speaking of Manchester City, they play in England. There are 4 main football countries in Europe. There's England, Spain, Germany, and Italy.
England, Spain, Italy,
England
Germany.
has the Premier League. Spain has La Liga. Germany has the Bundesliga.
Okay.
And Italy has Serie A.
Okay. See, man, this is actually really informational. Like, thank you, my nigga. Thank you, bruh. Now I'm knowing. Premier League is England. Spain, La Liga. Italy, Serie A. That's what he said. Germany, Bundesliga. Hey, that shit sounded German, though. I said that shit like way German.
So to take one country, they're all the same, but to take one country, England, the Premier League consists of 20 teams. Every team plays every other team, once at home and once away.
Okay.
And these leagues don't have playoffs. You get 3 points for a win, 1 for a tie. The team with the most points at the end of the season wins. And this
there's no playoffs? That's kind of disappointing, though. Oh, but it lightweight mean that every single game count. Okay, I like that. I do lightweight like that. That's mad different. That makes sense because the points add up. Oh, all right. I kind of like that. That's kind of different.
And has come down to the final day of the season before.
That's lightweight
in the US,
different.
Our leagues pretty much have the same teams every year. So if you suck, and even if you start to lose on purpose, you actually get rewarded with the top draft pick the next year.
That's very
if
true.
you finish in last place in one of these leagues, they literally kick you out of the league. But they call it relegation.
What? Oh, this a cutthroat business, dog. This more cutthroat than the NBA. Oh, they really be disbanding whole teams, nigga.
Before we keep going, here's a quick aside on the MLS. Major League Soccer is the top league in the United States.
Okay.
It's different in many ways than the European leagues. There's no relegation, so the teams do stay the same from year to year.
Oh,
and there is a salary cap. Talent-wise, I guess globally speaking, it seems to be an okay league, but certainly not on par with any of the European leagues.
So MLS is like the NBA. Is this like the main shit or no? Or was the other one like the main shit?
So under the Premier League, which is at the top, under them is a league called the English Football League Championship. The 3 teams who finish at the bottom of the Premier League are relegated to the championship for the next season.
Okay, so a consolation win
from the championship.
Or consolation prize.
The bottom 3 teams in the championship are relegated to League 1. The bottom 3 in League 1 are relegated to League 2, whose losers go to the National League, whose losers are... nobody really cares about them except the laws at this part, but you get the idea. Unless you really get into soccer, you'll never hear about anything below the Premier League again. But just so you're aware of what's happening down there.
For sure.
This system does a few things. First off...
Niggas got demoted to the D-League, boy. The fuck? They don't even got that shit no more.
Just because you're near the bottom of the standings, your games can still be extremely important. They still count because you're not trying to win the league anymore, but now you're trying to
make your way back up.
And the higher the league you're in, the higher the check you get from TV contracts. So it's kind of a big deal.
Okay.
It also creates this kind of theoretical meritocracy where you could start a team with a bunch of guys anywhere in the country, get into a kind of a tiny league, and then ultimately work your way up to the Premier League. In reality,
that's hard. You can literally like go pick up a nigga off the street and say, pull up, we're going to try to make it to MLS. No, Premier League. So you can really pick up a nigga off the street and say, pull up, bro, I need you on my squad. We about to go make it to the Premier League. That's kind of interesting. If that's the way I'm saying it is right, that's interesting as hell. Nigga, your soccer dreams could be alive forever, bro. What the fuck? I should have been playing soccer.
Work your way up to the majors while the other better teams with bigger pocketbooks are trying to buy all your best players the whole way. But for the teams at the top, just winning the Premier League sounds pretty easy. You're playing maybe 1 game a week. But that's the catch. There's other things going on here. So there's also the Carabao Cup, which is a tournament open to the top 4 leagues.
How many games do they got to play?
In England. And then there's the FA Cup,
which has
one
been
going
season
on since like forever, that it's literally open to every team in England. So over 700 teams entered this one tournament last year.
Damn, bitch. 700? Nigga, how do you even finish that in 1 year? You can't. That's literally impossible.
All teams had one giant tournament. So could any team win? Yes, they could. Will the small teams upset the bigger teams? At some point, maybe a few will. But is it likely that a non-Premier League team is going to win? No, probably not.
So that would be considered a Cinderella story.
In theory, then practically, I guess. The final tournament is the big one.
Okay.
What if we could find the best team in Europe? And I don't mean like each country gets a team. That's the European Championship that happens every 4 years. This, I'm talking about the league clubs. So the best teams from all over Europe, from 55 different countries, battle it out each year. This is the UEFA Champions League.
UEFA.
So as a side note on these acronyms here, FIFA is the organization that runs like big international tournaments, like the World Cup.
Okay. So FIFA like the Olympics, right? It's like soccer Olympics, because they don't got soccer in the Olympics, right? I don't think so.
If you're an American, you probably heard of FIFA because somebody on SportsCenter mentioned somebody that was involved with some kind of corruption investigation.
Oh, I was thinking the game.
Within FIFA, the world is divided into 6 different regions. UEFA is Europe. That's where like the best players go. CONCACAF, you may have heard of because that's what the U.S. is in, the Confederation of North, Central American, and Caribbean Association Football.
Okay, that's a long-ass name, by the way.
And then there's like the rest of the world. And each one of these
fuck them
groups has tournaments with national teams and their league clubs, like the CONCACAF Champions League and the UEFA Champions League. And these are called like the Champions League, but really it's just a tournament. So the UEFA Champions League is played in conjunction with the UEFA Europa League, which is kind of like the NCAA and NIT basketball tournaments, but with a bit of a twist. They play the qualifying rounds for the Champions League first.
Okay.
If you get knocked out of the big boy tournament, but you finish high enough, you can just move down into the Europa League and try to win that.
Damn, so they be having hella consolation prizes for these niggas, like consolation tournaments. Like, damn, how about if you just lose, your ass done. You gotta go to off season and figure shit out. Like, I feel like they be giving these niggas second chances too much, bro. You don't need this many second chances, dog. Damn, bro. Prepare and win.
Won't get into the qualifying, but typically you're gonna have teams that you may have heard of as an American, like Manchester City, Liverpool, Manchester United, Tottenham Hotspur.
Deadass, I've never heard of none of these teams. Like, I'm gonna be real, I never heard. I think I've heard of Liverpool for sure. I've heard of Liverpool, but what came to head before this shit came up, I was thinking Barcelona and Real Madrid. But I think maybe that's like in a different little thingy thing or something.
From Spain.
Yeah, here we go.
And Atletico Madrid and Real Madrid. Serie A from Italy. We'll have Juventus and Inter and Roma and Atalanta. Germany is pretty much dominated by Borussia Dortmund.
Why he say not a typo? Like I would have believed you once you said Atalanta. Like obviously you said that for a reason. You didn't typo your mouth.
Bayern Munich, and then there's other popular teams like Paris Saint-Germain from France and Lyon.
PSG, I've heard of PSG.
France, and Ajax from the Netherlands.
Because I think I reacted to somebody on
a few Russian teams, and you're
Oh no, Neymar was on PSG. That's why. And I was going to react to him one day, but I didn't.
So back to the Premier League. You remember how your team's playing that kind of standard 38-game schedule. So now, also at the same time, you're competing in the Premier League, the Carabao Cup, the FA Cup, and the Champions League. And there's like a bunch of other small one-off games happening too. So even
they got
if you have
mad
the best
leagues.
team, you're still
I
probably
noticed.
not going to win all these tournaments just because of the wear and tear. If you can win 3 trophies in a year, that's like special. That's called a treble. If you win 4, that's called a quadruple.
So in all these tournaments,
good. And
so really the main one you want to win this one, right? The Premier League. That's the main one that you want to win.
Although I, for some reason, find the Champions League is hard to beat for excitement. So even though you can, soccer teams tend to trade players less than they do in the U.S. Rather, teams will just buy players from their current club. So a contract is going to include your salary, obviously, but also something called a release clause.
Wait, they buying niggas now? I thought that was like back then. I'm going to be honest. They can buy out a nigga whole contract? That's wild. I'm going to be honest.
So a baseball player, unhappy with the situation, he could demand a trade.
Yeah.
And they might trade him and he'd be happy.
Mm-hmm.
But if they refuse to trade him, then he's kind of stuck.
Yeah.
Whereas a soccer player could just find another team willing to pay that release clause. And once the team agrees to pay the clause, then they can just negotiate directly with that player.
Damn.
Obviously, the better player, the higher the fee is going to be, so the current club can go out and find a reasonable replacement. The difference is that while most sports in the U.S. have a trade deadline, and that's followed by a few weeks afterward where players cannot move to another team, soccer's kind of the opposite. So most of the time, you cannot move to another team. There are 2 periods a year called transfer windows that you can move during.
I fuck with that.
Usually before and then halfway through the season. And you can sign a new contract for another team whenever, but you can't actually start playing for them until that next transfer window.
Okay.
And the last thing
that makes
contracts
sense.
is that in the U.S., most leagues have a draft, but soccer's pretty much like the Wild West. So teams will sign players, or I should say kids, like into their youth academy very young, like 8 years old.
What? Man, come on, bro. This damn near trafficking. Hey, what? They be signing kids, but I think I know what he's saying, because y'all did tell me this, that they be having the youth leagues, and then that's when they be coming up to the main shit. So they be having the youth leagues, like a youth league Barcelona. Like y'all did say, I think Lamine was on his youth league when he was like, fucking a fetus or whatever, right? And then he like just automatically was on Barcelona. So that makes sense. But damn, that just sounded crazy, dog.
And smaller teams who find a really good player could also include something called a sell-on clause when selling a player to a larger team that says if the team buying that player turns around and sells the player again to an even bigger club, then that original team will get a percentage of
that's hard.
Secondary sale.
Good business,
right, so
good
if
business.
you're still here at this point, you probably want more. So what's next?
Yeah.
There are like an unlimited number of top or best goal compilations on YouTube, which are kind of interesting in the sense that you can actually show new people to soccer, the potential that the game has. Lots of Americans' exposure to soccer is like the Women's World Cup, and obviously we have a great team there. But
wait, what? For real? I ain't gonna lie, my camera died and I had to charge it, so I don't even know like what the fuck I was talking about last. But let's keep the video going.
You never really get to see what different strategies look like. Like look up Barcelona tiki-taka videos. You won't regret that.
Somebody did tell me to do Barcelona tiki-taka videos. I hella forgot. I might have to now.
Look like children. As I mentioned, the All or Nothing series.
And hella y'all been
City
saying doing documentaries
Amazon
too.
Prime. And obviously just watching games is good. FIFA TV has a YouTube channel that has lots of international matches. Or just look on YouTube for full football matches. You're smart, you'll find them. UEFA TV has old Champions League matches. I think you might have to register, but it's free. You probably want to follow BR's football channel on YouTube. They have a lot of good stuff.
What was that, Bleacher Report?
This very funny series called The Champions, which I'd probably wait a little bit until you learn a little more about the top players before watching that. One place I always turn to when trying to learn a new sport is video games. Mm-hmm. So FIFA would probably help. The big caveat there is that it has horrible reviews.
Oh, damn. For real, I didn't even know that. It seemed like a cool game. I mean, shit. It seemed like a cool game. I think they just need to switch. They need to have a 2K camera, bro. Like, y'all know my 2K players know what a 2K camera is. They need to have a camera like that where it's like right behind the players instead of to the side. That shit's so weak to me. Okay, so I definitely got some more knowledge on this shit now. Like, definitely got some more knowledge. I actually needed this video hella. We definitely gonna do De Bruyne tomorrow, and then we gonna do what's it called? What's his name? Eden Hazard on Halloween. On Halloween. But hey, love y'all niggas. Stay safe, be smooth, be as great as you can be in this life. Love, love, love.